Good day, everyone. For today's discussion, we will now talk about the heat capacity and specific heat. But before we proceed to our motivation, learning objectives, and of course, discussion, magkaroon muna tayo ng isang review about our past lesson. So, meron lang naman akong tatlong question na itatanong. So, you may type your answer if you want to answer. So, unang question, what do we mean by thermal expansion? Okay, very good. That's a good answer. And for the second question, what is the difference between thermal expansion and thermal contraction? Okay, that's another good answer. And for the last question, what does it mean when we say a material expands because of heat? Okay, very good. So thank you so much for your cooperation and participation. So of course, hindi naman mawawala sa ating discussion ng ating icebreaker. So ang icebreaker na to ay tinatawag nating 4 picks, 1 word. So if-flash ko lang yung 4 picks and 1 word and kailangan nyo lang i-type kung ano kaya yung sagot doon sa item na yon. So let's start. Okay, very good. This is heat. What about the second one? Okay, ang tawag naman dito or ang tamang sagot dito ay ang formula. What about the third one? Okay, so ito naman ay ang heat capacity. Very good. What about the last one? Okay, very good. This is specific heat. So thank you so much again for your cooperation. So now, alamin na natin ang ating learning objectives. First, we have define heat capacity and specific heat correctly. Second, solve quantitative problems involving heat capacity and specific heat. And third, explain why substances heat differently in environmental contexts. So before we proceed to our discussion about the heat capacity and specific heat, meron lang akong dalawang tanong. May dalawang tanong lang na gustong itanong si teacher. So una, nakakita na ba kayo ng giant kawa? Or kaya yung talyase? Or kaya naman yung tulyase katulad nung nasa screen? Yes or no? Okay, kung yes, alam kong pamilya na kayo. If no, later on after ng discussion, pwede nyo siyang i-search. Pero ang giant kawa kasi, usually nakikita ito sa mga festahan sa mga probinsya. Or either may mga vlogger na nagpapakita ng life in a province, ganyan. Tapos pinapakita nila yung giant kawa. And ito rin yung nauso noon na pinagliliguan, tapos pinapakulan yung tubig, and then tatalbog na agad dun sa giant kawa. Pero yung giant kawa na binabanggit ni teacher ay para yun sa pagluluto tuwing festahan. So, pangalawang question naman ni teacher, nakakain na ba kayo ng pizza? And na-try nyo na bang mapaso sa pizza? So, kung ang sagot nyo ay yes, same. Naranasan na rin ni teacher yan. And if no, okay lang din naman yon. So later on, malalaman nyo kung bakit kaya tinanong ni teacher if familiar kayo sa giant kawa or kaya naman ay natry nyo nang mapaso sa pizza. So for now, I will now give the platform to Ma'am Care to discuss what is heat and heat capacity.
Hi everyone! So, in this video, i-discuss po namin ni Ma'am Chelsea kung ano ang heat capacity and specific heat. So, first, ako po muna ang magsasalita, then after ko po is si Ma'am Chelsea naman. So, sana makinig po tayo lahat, and I hope na may matutunan po kayo sa amin. So, kapasadaan po muna natin yung heat dahil alam naman po natin na madami nang nakapag-report yan. So, I hope na alam niyo na po yan. So, after ko po pasadahan yung heat, is magpo-proceed po tayo sa topic ko na heat capacity. Then, after po nun is iti-discuss ko po kung ano po yung meaning ng heat capacity, kung bakit po siya importante, and ano po yung history ng mga formula na meron ang heat capacity.
Hi, good day everyone. In this video, I'll be discussing heat capacity. So now in the slide, we have heat. So heat is a form of energy that transfers from other objects to cooler ones. I hope madami na pong nakaalam kung ano ang heat dahil dahil discuss na din po ito nung mga nakaraang reporter natin. So, when heat is added to a material, particles gain energy and move faster, increasing the temperature. However, different materials heat up at different rates even with the same amount of heat. So, may example po kami dito, metal spoon and hot soup, dahil good conductor po ang metal, na-absorb niya po yung heat na nanggagaling po sa soup. Kaya ito po yung naging example namin kasi nag-describe niya po kung ano po talaga yung ibig sabihin ng heat. So, these differences happen because of two important properties po, which is heat capacity and specific heat. So now, let's move to my main topic, which is heat capacity. So heat capacity is the quantity of heat energy required to raise the temperature of an entire object, sample, or system by 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin. So it is an extensive property. It depends on the amount, size of the object. So this is one of the important na maintindihan natin sa heat capacity. So bigger object, higher heat capacity, slower to heat up, slower to cool down. So yung mga malalaking object po, gaya po nung giant kawan natin, higher heat capacity po siya. So ito po yung mga bagay na mabagal uminit at mabagal pong lumamig. So smaller object po, lower heat capacity, mas mababa po siya compare sa bigger object. So fast to heat up and faster to cool down. So yung mga normal lang po na pan, like yung pinapipituan po natin, ganyan, yung mga normal size lang po. Ito po yung mga bagay na mabilis lang pong uminit and mag-cool down. So, always remember that bigger object, higher heat capacity po, slower to heat up and to cool down. Then smaller object, lower lang po yung heat capacity niya, faster to heat up and faster to cool down. So, here is the example po, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina dito. So, ito pong bigger pan, siya po yung higher heat capacity and slower to heat up and slower to cool down. And smaller pan, the normal size po, is the lower heat capacity, faster to heat up and faster to cool down. Naiintindihan po ba? I hope naiintindihan nyo dahil important po ito. So, next slide. So, we have this formula of heat capacity. So, C is equal to Q over delta T, where C is heat capacity and its unit is joules per degree Celsius or joules per Kelvin. And Q is heat energy added or removed, and its unit is J or joules. And lastly, we have the delta T, the change in temperature, and its unit is degrees Celsius or Kelvin. So now let's talk about the history of heat capacity formula. So in the 1760s, Joseph Black, as Scottish scientist, nagsagawa po siya ng experiment tungkol sa mercury and sa heat. And hinalo niya yung mga substance na may magkaibang temperature tulad ng mercury and cold water. So, he found that the same amount of heat caused a large temperature drop in mercury but only a small rise in water. Napansin niyo po na kahit pareho yung dami ng heat na nalilipat, mas malaki pa rin ang pagbabago ng temperature ng mercury kaysa po sa water. So, this revealed that water has a greater capacity for heat than mercury. It absorbs more heat with a small temperature. So, pinapakita daw po dito na yung water ay mas maraming heat ang kayang tanggapin nang hindi agad tumataas yung temperature. So, tinatawag po ito na mas mataas na heat capacity or it has a greater capacity for heat. Gets po? So, you stated the relationship in this way. The change in temperature equal the heat added divided by the heat capacity. The equation is delta T is equal to Q over C. So, para ito ipaliwanag yung naging observation ni Joseph Black, pinakita niya yung relationship ng heat ng temperature sa pamamagitan ng equation na to. So, bakit binago ang ayos ng equation? So, later scientists often needed to find how much heat was required to raise the temperature by a certain amount. So, they rearranged the equation to Q is equal to C times delta T. So, napansin po ng mga scientists na mas practical kung alam daw na kung gaano karaming init ang kailangan para tumaas yung temperature ng isang substance. Kaya po, inayos nila ang equation sa ganyan. However, it was later on changed into C is equal to Q over delta T as the standard and defining equation. So, ang equation po na yan, ang naging standard at defining equation ng heat capacity. Dahil malinaw daw nitong ipapakita ang eksaktong relasyon ng tatlong mahalagang concept, which is the heat capacity, and change in temperature. So, ito na daw yung naging formang pinakaangkop sa scientific measurement. So, in experiments, we add a known quantity of heat, measure the temperature change, and calculate. The form C is equal to Q over delta T matches the scientific definition exactly and is now used when we determine or report the value of heat capacity. So, dahil eksakto na daw itong tugma sa scientific definition, ito na ang ginamit sa mga laboratory at scientific reports. So, nakigets po? Okay, I hope nagets na po ang history ng heat capacity formula. So, proceed po tayo sa next slide. So, in the slide, I'm gonna explain the uses of formula. So, we have three formulas sa heat capacity. First is C is equal to Q over delta T. So, this formula used when you have heat added and temperature change. Second one is Q is equal to C times delta T, used when you know heat capacity and want to find heat needed. Lastly, we have delta T is equal to Q over C, used when you know heat added and want to find temperature change. Gets po? Okay, next slide.
So ayun, natapos na po natin i-explain kung ano ang heat capacity. And now, magpuproceed na po tayo sa sample problems. And ako po muna ang mag-solve sa first sample problem. Then after ko po is kayo naman. Kaya kailangan makinig po kayo sa akin and panoorin maigi kung paano ko po sinasolve ang mga problems para kapag turn nyo na is alam nyo na po yung gagawin nyo on your own sa pagsasolve. Okay po?
So, I'm done explaining the heat capacity or what is heat capacity and the formulas for heat capacity and the history of it. So now, let's proceed to the problem solving. So, I have sample problems here and I'm gonna solve these first before you guys. So, while I'm solving this, I'm giving one sample problem and ako muna yung magsasolve and the rest, explain ko na lang muna. Then after nun, meron dito na kayo naman yung turn nyo naman yung pagsasolve. Sa tatlong formula na meron tayo, lahat po yan is isasolve natin. Ako muna bago kayo. So, ang routine is I2, you do, and P2. Nagigets po? I hope nagigets po nila. So, we have this first sample problem. Ako muna ang magsasolve, then after ko is kayo naman, turn nyo naman ang pagsasolve. So, habang nagsasolve ako, I want you to listen. Makinig kayo para alam nyo kung paano gawin, paano i-solve on your own kapag turn nyo na. So, unahan ko na kayo, pangit yung pagsusulat ko dahil daliri ko lang talagang ginagamit ko. Hindi ko mahanap yung pen ng pad ko, kaya sorry, huwag niyo intindihin yung sulat ko. Ang intindihin nyo is yung pagsasolve ko, makinig kayo para alam nyo yung gagawin nyo. So, basahin natin. A student tests a metal container in the lab. She adds 1,200 joules of heat to the container and its temperature rises from 20 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. So what is the heat capacity of the container? So first, sulat natin yung given natin. So first, ang hinahanap ay yung heat. So sulat natin is Q. Ano ang Q? 1,200 joules. Then, we have the temperatures. So, delta T is equal to, we have two temperature. So, paano po ang gagawin natin? Ang gagawin po natin ay i-solve po muna natin yung dalawang yun. So, gagamit muna tayo ng red. So, delta T is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature. So, delta T is equal to, ano po yung final temperature? Ang final temperature po natin ay yung mas mataas. So, 28 degrees and yung initial is 30 degrees Celsius. So, sulat po natin here. So, 28 degrees Celsius minus 20 degrees Celsius is equal to 8 degrees Celsius. So, ito na po ang kinalabasan. Then, after that, we can write it in here na yung 8 degrees Celsius. So, mapaproceed po tayo sa required. Required po, ano po ang hinahanap is yung heat capacity, which is, see, yan. Question mark po muna siya kasi hindi pa natin siya nasa-solve. So, ang equation po natin, ang gagamitin po natin formula ay C is equal to U over delta T. Yan. So, magsasolve na po tayo. So, C is equal heat. What is our heat? 1,200 joules. And yung temperature po natin is yung 8 degrees Celsius. So, I want you to get your scientific calculator and sabayan niyo po ako sa pag-solve para may idea na kayo on how to solve it. So, 1,200 over 8 is equal to what? Is equal to 150 joules over degrees Celsius. So, ayan na po yung final na sagot natin. Nakits po ba? So, uulitin ko, i-explain ko ulit from the top. So, we have this sample problem number 1. The student tests a metal container in the lab. She adds 1,200 joules of heat to the container and its temperature rises from 20 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. What is the heat capacity of the container? So, first ang ginawa po natin is kinuha po natin yung given, yung heat, which is 1,200 joules, and after that, we calculate the temperature. So, delta T is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature. So, 28 degrees Celsius minus 20 degrees Celsius is equal to 8 degrees Celsius. Lagi po natin tandaan na ang final temperature is yung mas mataas and yung final naman po is yung mas mababa. And after that, sinulat po natin yung required, which is yung heat capacity po. So, ayan. Our equation or formula is C is equal to Q over delta T, or heat capacity is equal to heat energy added over temperature. And our solution is, ayan, heat capacity is equal to 1,200 joules over 8 degrees Celsius. So, calculate lang po natin siya. Then, ang lalabas po is 150. And, copy lang po natin yung mga unit, which is yung joules and degrees Celsius. And, makuha na po natin yung tamang sagot. So, the heat capacity of the container is 150 joules per degree Celsius. So, let's proceed to sample problem number 2. So, a rubber ball absorbs 1,440 joules of heat energy and its temperature rises by 8 degrees Celsius. Calculate the heat capacity of the ball. So, sa first problem solving natin na to, ang first set na to is yung unang formula. And ang hinahanap po dito is yung heat capacity. So, let's proceed to the solution. So, our equation or formula we use is C is equal to Q over delta T. So, lagay lang po natin yung 1,440 joules and sa baba is yung 8 degrees Celsius kasi ito po yung temperature natin. Then, calculate lang po natin and may lalabas na final answer is 180 joules per degree Celsius. So, the heat capacity of the rubber ball is 180 joule per degree Celsius. So, class, let's solve this. Kayo naman ang gagawa. So, a student adds 900 joules of heat energy to a calorimeter and the temperature rises by 9 degrees Celsius. What is the heat capacity of the calorimeter? I'll give you 5 minutes to solve this one. So, when you guys are done, let's check it. We have the solution. And our equation or formula we use is the same. Then, input lang po natin yung nasa given, 900 joules over 9 degrees Celsius, and yung lalabas po na answer is 100 joules per degrees Celsius. I hope tama po yung mga sagot nyo. Yan. Ayan na po yung final answer natin. Please be honest with your answers. I know na nag-gets nyo naman. So, sana tama ako. So, next problem. So, next we have this. During calibration, 200 and 2,500 joules of electrical heat energy causes a temperature increase from 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. The calorimeter determine the calorimeter heat capacity. Heat capacity pa rin po. So, solution, C is equal to Q over delta T, same formula. Then, substitute 2,500 joules over 10 degrees Celsius is equal to 250 joule per degree Celsius. So, that's the final answer. And let's proceed. So now, we have the sample problem. Number 1 sa pangalawang formula natin. So, ganun lang ulit ang routine. Ako muna ang magsasolve. Then after ko is kayo naman. So, makinig ulit para alam ang gagawin kapag turn yun na sa pagsasolve. So, we have this first problem. A calorimeter has a heat capacity for 140 joules per degrees Celsius. How much heat energy must be supplied to increase its temperature from 15 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius? So, kaya sa method ulit. First, sulat natin yung given. So, ang hinahanap ay yung ang unang given is heat capacity. So, heat capacity is 140 joules per degree Celsius. Then, we have the temperature. So, ganun ulit. We have to solve the final and initial temperature para makuha yung final. So, dito na lang sa top natin sulat para makita yung pattern. So, delta T is equal to final temperature minus initial temp. So, we have a 30 degrees Celsius minus initial 15 degrees Celsius. Then, the answer is 15 degrees Celsius. So, we have this. And, so, we can put the temperature here na. Next, our required is the heat energy added or removed. Yan. Kasi hindi pa natin siya nasa-solve na nakakuha. Next is yung equation or formula. Ina lang para hindi nakapakit siya. So, Q is equal to C times change in temperature. Ayan po ang pangalawa natin formula na gagamitin sa pangalawang set ng problem na to. So, next yung solution. So, here na lang natin sulat. Test na lang. So, Q is equal to 140 joules per degree Celsius times yung time natin is temperature pa is 15 degrees Celsius. So, pag kinalculate po natin siya, ang lalabas po ay 140 times 15. Ang lalabas po ay 2,100. Then, we have 2 degrees Celsius. So, we have to cancel this. Kaya ang natira po ay yung joules. So, can I put this here? So, this is our final answer. Yan. Nagets po ba? So, i-discuss ko ulit from the top. So, ito na yun. Yes. Final answer. So, i-discuss ko po ulit from the top para mas magets nyo. So, a calorimeter has a heat capacity of 140 joules per degree Celsius. How much heat energy must be supplied to increase its temperature from 15 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius? So, we have two temperature here, and ang hinahanap po is yung heat energy. So, for our given, sinulat po natin yung heat capacity, which is 140 joules per degrees Celsius. And then, para po makuha yung final na temperature natin, we have to solve this first, the final temperature and initial temperature, so 30 degrees Celsius minus 15 degrees Celsius is equal to 15 degrees Celsius. So, ito, nilagay na po natin siya here. Ito po. Then, required, ang hinahanap po is yung heat energy, which is yung Q. Then, the equation, the formula we use, then, the solution, the heat energy is equal to 140 joules per degrees Celsius times the temperature, which is the 15 degrees Celsius. So, kapag pinag-times po natin, ang lalabas po dyan is 2,100. Then, we have to cancel the degrees Celsius. So, ang natira po ay ang joules. Kaya po, ang final answer natin is 2,100 joules. So, nagets po ba? Then, sa pangalawa naman po is kayo naman. So, the heat energy needed to increase the temperature is 2,100 joules. So, let's proceed to let's solve this. Kayo naman po ang magsasolve neto. So, a student uses a calorimeter with a heat capacity of 180 joules per degree Celsius. To measure a reaction, the temperature of the calorimeter rises by 7.5 degrees Celsius during the experiment. How much heat energy was absorbed by the calorimeter? I'll give you 5 minutes to answer this again. So, if you're done answering, let's check na. So, solution po tayo agad. So, we have this equation or formula, Q is equal to C times delta T. So, input lang po natin. So, 100 joules per degree Celsius times 7.5 degrees Celsius is equal to 1,350 joules. Since same po yung may nag-same po na unit, we have to cancel it out. So, ang natira po is yung joules. So, input po natin siya sa final answer. So, kung gets na po, let's proceed to the next formula. The last formula we have in heat capacity. So, sample problem ulit po. So, nasa pangatlong formula na po tayo ng heat capacity. And, ang hinahanap po dito is temperature. So, this one is the first sample problem na temperature ang hinahanap. So, same routine po tayo. Ako muna bago kayo. Then, I want you to listen carefully while I am solving this. Then, after ko is kayo naman. So, sinulat ko na po yung Gresa method here para tuloy-tuloy na tayo. So, we have this one. An insulated box has a heat capacity of 320 joules per Kelvin. When 2,240 joules of heat is added to the box, by how many degrees Kelvin does its temperature increase? So, sulat po natin yung given. We have the heat energy, then heat capacity. Yan. Ang heat energy po natin ay 2,240 joules. Then our heat capacity is 320 joules per Kelvin. Kelvin. Ayan. Then, ang hinahanap naman po dito ay ang temperature. So, ang required po natin is temperature. Ayan. So, mag-proceed po tayo sa ating equation or formula na gagamitin, which is temperature is equal to heat energy over heat capacity. So, sa solution naman, isa-solve lang po natin. So, this time red. Change ulit sa block. So, ang heat energy po natin is 2,240 joules over yung heat capacity is 320 joules per Kelvin. So, solve po natin siya. So, 2,240 over 320 is equal to 7. So, we have same unit here. We need to cancel this. Kaya ang natira po ay yung Kelvin. So, sulat lang po natin siya dito. Then, we have the final answer po. Here. 7 Kelvin. So, ito po ang final answer natin. Okay na yun. Ayan. So, explain ko lang po ulit from the top. So, an insulated box has a heat capacity of 320 joules per Kelvin when 2,240 joules of heat is added to the box. By how many degrees Kelvin does its temperature increase? So, ang given po natin is we have the heat energy of 2,240 joules and heat capacity of 320 joules per Kelvin. Then, we have our required temperature. Here. Question mark pa po siya kasi nga po, kailangan pa po natin i-solve para mahanap yung tamang temperature. So, we use the formula of delta T is equal to Q over C and proceed to the solution of delta T is equal to, input lang po natin yung heat energy and heat capacity, 2,240 joules over the heat capacity of 320 joules per Kelvin. Then, solve lang po. Then, ang lalabas is yung 7 Kelvin. So, cancel out the same unit. Then, yung natira po is input lang po natin siya. So, our final answer is temperature is equal to 7 Kelvin. So, ayan po ang hinahanap dito. Ito po. Ayan na. So, nagigets po ba natin lahat? Ayan, kung nagigets, kayo naman ang gagawa on your own. Then, i-check ko after. So, first formula, we have the heat capacity. Heat capacity po ang hinahanap. And the next one is yung heat energy naman po ang hinahanap. And then yung last one formula is ito. Yung temperature ang hinahanap. So, tapos na po natin isolve yung 1, 2, 3 na formula ng heat capacity. Sana po may nagets kayo. And yung ginawa niyo po is i-check po natin yan pag nag-meet na. So, thank you sa pakikinig and I hope na may natutunan kayo sa mga sinolve natin today. Thank you so much.
The temperature increases 7 Kelvin. So, let's proceed na po sa kayo naman yung magsasolve. I hope na-gets yun na. So, now, kayo naman po, let's solve this. Here's your number 1 problem. A heater adds 2,400 joules of heat energy to a calorimeter with heat capacity 200 joules per degree Celsius. By how much does the temperature of the calorimeter increase? Give you 5 minutes to answer this question. So if you're done answering, let's check if tama yung mga naging sagot mo. So solution. We have formula delta T is equal to Q over C. So input lang po natin yung mga nasa given. So delta T is equal to 2,240 joules over 200 joules per degrees Celsius. So ang answer po is 12 degrees Celsius. Why? Kasi po, why po siya naging degrees Celsius na? Kasi may nag-same po na unit and we have to cancel it out and yung natira is 2 degrees Celsius kaya po siya ang input natin. So our final answer is change in temperature is equal to 12 degrees Celsius. So I'll explain this last. A student adds 900 joules of hot liquid to a test tube with heat capacity 450 joules per degree Celsius. How much does the test tube's temperature increase? So, ang hinahanap pa rin po dito is yung temperature increase. So, solution, we have the formula, same formula pa rin po, delta T is equal to Q over C. Then, input lang po natin yung nasa given. So, we have delta T is equal to 2,700 joules over 450 joules per degrees Celsius. So, we have the answer 6. We have 6 degrees Celsius, same as the sample problem 1. Cancel out the same unit, and then yung matitira is i-input po natin sa final answer. So, we have delta T is equal to 6 degrees Celsius. So, that's all for my part in this topic. I hope you will learn a lot from me discussing the heat capacity, and thank you so much for your time, for your effort listening to me, and thank you.
Tapos na po tayo sa heat capacity and mag-proceed na po tayo sa next topic which is specific heat na i-discuss naman po ni Ma'am Chelsea. So, I hope you learned a lot from heat capacity. So, thank you.
Ang next na ipapaliwanag or i-discuss naman natin ay ang specific heat capacity. Tatandaan natin na magkaiba ang heat capacity sa specific heat capacity. But before we proceed to the formula of the specific heat capacity and its importance, syempre, alamin muna natin what do we mean by specific heat capacity or ano ba ang definition nito. Kapag sinabi nating specific heat capacity, ang gusto lamang nitong iparating o ang gusto lamang nito sabihin, gaano karaming init ang kailangan para tumaas ng 1 degrees Celsius ang 1 gramo ng isang bagay. In English, specific heat capacity just wants to know how much heat energy or how much heat do we need to increase the temperature of an object by 1 degrees Celsius per gram. Kung medyo nalilito or kaya naman ay medyo hindi nagigets ang ibig sabihin ng specific heat capacity, tatandaan lang natin yung phrase na 1:1 ratio. Bakit kailangan natin tandaan ng 1:1 ratio? Kasi ang 1:1 ratio ay pinapaliwanag na nito ang principles or kung ano man ang definition ng specific heat capacity. Dahil sa specific heat capacity, sinasabi nito na dapat ang 1 gram ay tataas ng 1 degrees Celsius para malaman kung gaano karaming heat energy o gaano karaming heat ang kailangan para tuluyang uminit ang isang bagay. Ang property naman ng specific heat capacity ay intensive. Kung sa heat capacity ito ay extensive, ang specific heat capacity naman ay intensive. Kaya rin ito tinawag na specific heat. Ibig sabihin, ibinabase natin ang bilis o bagal ng pag-init ng isang bagay depende kung saan ito gawa or depende sa materyales nito. Kaya siya tinawag na intensive dahil nagbabase tayo kung saan ito gawa, sa loob ng isang bagay. At tinawag ito na specific heat dahil specific lamang ito sa kung anong klasing materyales yari ang isang bagay. Mayroong rule ang specific heat. Ibig sabihin, kapag daw different materials, different specific heat. Magkaibang materials, magkaibang specific heat. Kapag daw high specific heat, heat up slowly. Ibig sabihin, mas mabagal uminit. Kapag low specific heat up fast or mabilis uminit. So para mas ma-visualize pa natin or para mas maintindihan pa natin yung rule o yung principle ng specific heat, tandaan naman natin yung word na inversely proportional. Kapag sinabi kasi nating inversely proportional, ibig sabihin magkasalungat. Kung isang araw ay pataas, ang isang araw naman ay pababa. Ganoon ang inversely proportional. And that also explains the principles of specific heat. Ibig sabihin, kapag high specific heat up slowly. Ibig sabihin, kapag mataas daw ang specific heat, mas maraming heat energy ang kailangan or mas malaki ang storage nito para sa mga heat energy. And because of that, mas matagal mapuno or mas matagal ma-heat yung direct amount ng heat energy para tuluyang uminit ang isang bagay. Kapag naman low specific heat up fast. Ibig sabihin, kapag mas mababa ang specific heat, mas kakaunti lamang na heat energy kailangang mapuno para uminit ang isang bagay. Ibig sabihin, kapag low specific heat, mas kaunting heat energy. Kapag mas kaunti, mas mabilis umiinit. I-example naman natin tong pizza para mas maunawaan natin or kaya mas ma-visualize pa natin kung alin ba or ano ba ang specific heat capacity. So halimbawa sa pizza, kanina tinanong ko kayo kung naranasan nyo na bang kumain ng pizza na mainit. Tapos, nung pinapalamig nyo na siya, nung hinawakan nyo yung crust, naramdaman yung malamig na. So pwede na siyang kainin, pwede na siyang isubo. Nung tinry niya siyang isubo, mainit pa pala yung pinakataas o yung pinaka-cheese ng pizza. Kaya napasok kayo. So, isa yon sa example ng specific heat. Bakit? Paano naging example ng specific heat ang pizza? Sabi sa specific heat kanina, different materials, different specific heat. Yung crust, gawa ito sa dough. At yung cheese, gawa naman ito sa milk. Pwede nating isipin na yung crust, high specific heat siya. Kaya naman, nung pinainit natin ito sa microwave, or kaya naman nung naluto ito, hindi siya uminit ng sobra. Kaya naman, madali siya lumamig. Unlike doon sa cheese, na low specific heat kaya kaunting init, or kaya naman na-expose lang siya sa microwave, hindi siya agad-agad madaling lumamig. Dahil low specific heat siya, ibig sabihin, na-accommodate na yung dami ng init para uminit siya ng sobra. Kung kanina, yung heat capacity, merong formula, syempre yung specific heat, meron din. So, ang formula ng specific heat ay Q is equal to M multiplied by specific heat multiplied by the delta T. So, sa tingin nyo, ano kaya yung kapansin-pansin or kaya naman ano kaya yung nadagdag sa formula ng specific heat? So, sa tingin nyo, ano kaya yon? Kung ang sinagot nyo ay mass, tama. Dahil sa specific heat, may basihan na tayo o dinagdagan na natin ito ng mass. Before we proceed to the history of specific heat formula, alamin muna natin kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng mga symbol na to. Yung Q, yung M, yung C, and then yung delta T. So kapag sinabi natin Q, ito yung heat energy added. So meron itong unit na J or kaya naman ay joules. Kapag naman M, basically ito yung mass natin. Meron itong unit na kilograms or grams, pero usually sa specific heat, ang ginagamit natin ay grams. Kapag naman C, ito yung specific heat capacity natin. Meron itong unit na joule per gram degrees Celsius, joule per gram Kelvin, or pwede rin naman joule per kilogram Celsius, or kaya naman joule per kilogram Kelvin. Depende ito sa kung ano man ang given. Pero usually, ang palaging ginagamit ay yung joule per gram degrees Celsius. At yung lastly, syempre yung delta T, it is temperature, or kaya naman ay change in temperature. Dalawa lang ang unit nito. It's either degrees Celsius or kaya naman ay K or Kelvin. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ng history of specific heat formula. So gusto kong malaman, gusto ko lang itanong, sa tingin nyo, magkaiba kaya ang pinagmulan ng history ng formula ng specific heat sa heat capacity? Yes or no? So kung ang sinagot nyo ay yes, tama. Meron kasing pagkakaiba o iba talaga ang reason kung bakit nabuo ang specific heat formula. Sabing ganon, specific heat was developed in early 1800s when scientists needed a way to compare different materials without the effect of different sizes. Ibig sabihin, opposite kasi ng heat capacity ang specific heat. Ginawa ito ng mga scientists para ipagkumpara ang dalawang bagay kung gaano sila kabilis uminit nang hindi ibinabase sa laki o hindi ibinabase sa size. Sabi kasi nila, meron daw mga bagay na maliit lang, pero kapag pinainit mo, ang bilis-bilis uminit. Meron naman mga bagay na maliit, pero kapag pinainit mo, ang bagal-bagal uminit. Kaya naman nagkaroon tayo ng formula at nagkaroon tayo ng specific heat capacity. Siguro kanina napansin nyo, bakit kaya may mass? Bakit kaya idinagdag na yung mass sa specific heat capacity? Di ba hindi naman natin ibinabasa ito sa size? Mayroong mass sa specific heat capacity para gawin itong basis or para gawin itong standard sa pagko-compare. Paano naging standard yung mass or kaya naman bakit ginagamit siya para sa pag-compare? Dahil sa specific heat, ang pinagko-compare natin ay materyales. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin nakikita yung amount ng materyales. Hindi natin nakikita agad-agad kung saan itong gawang materials. Ginamit nila yung mass para fair. So halimbawa, gusto mong ipagkumpara ang specific heat ng gold at saka ng silver. Yung gold, 200 grams. And then yung silver, 400 grams. Sabay mo silang pinainit. Tapos yung gold, siya yung mabilis uminit. Sa tingin nyo ba, yes or no? Fair ba yung ginawang pagko-compare kung ang gold ay 200 grams at ang silver naman ay 400 grams? So kung ang sagot nyo ay no, tama. Hindi siya fair. Pwede kasing questionin yung result na mabilis lang naman uminit yung gold kasi mas kakaunti siya 200 grams compared doon sa silver. Pero kung parehas silang 200 grams, doon na nila pwedeng masabi na mas mabilis talagang uminit ang gold. Kasi despite ng grams nila, mas mabilis itong nakakuha ng heat energy. Yun naman, i-apply na natin syempre yung formula ng specific heat. So, ibig sabihin, ako muna ang magsasolve, ipapaliwanag ko kung paano ba gamitin ang formula ng specific heat at meron akong ibibigay na sample problem. At kayo naman ang sasagot nun. Sa una nating problem, meron tayong a student wants to heat 500 grams of water from 20 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius for a science experiment. The specific heat capacity of water is 4.184 joules per gram degrees Celsius. How much heat energy must be supplied to the water? So we have here our first problem, which is a student wants to heat 500 grams of water from 20 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius for a science experiment. The specific heat capacity of water is 4.184 joules per gram degrees Celsius. How much heat energy must be supplied to the water? So in every problem solving na gagawin natin, katulad doon sa mga naunang computations, gagamit tayo ng GRESA, which is G for given, R for required, E for equation, S for solution, and then A is for answer. And with that, we have to find the given first, or the letter G. And as we can see, doon sa question, meron tayong 500 grams, which is our mass, or the letter M. And then, makikita natin meron tayong dalawang temperature. Yung 20 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. So, isulat muna natin siya as given. Tatandaan natin kapag may nakita tayong dalawang magkaparehas na temperature, tatandaan din natin yung dalawang word. So, which is yung final and initial. Again, kapag dalawang temperature yung given, tatandaan natin yung word na final, initial. Final is equal to higher temperature. Initial means lower temperature. And as we can see, 20 degrees Celsius is the lower, so yun yung initial natin, and 60 degrees Celsius is yung higher, kaya naman siya yung final natin. And of course, yung panlast ay yung ating 4.184 joules per gram degrees Celsius, which is our specific heat capacity. So, after natin malaman yung mga given, syempre, puproceed tayo sa letter R, which is yung required. When it comes to required, we just have to analyze again na question, and sa huli, nakita na natin, tinanong agad, how much heat energy? Therefore, ang hinahanap natin ay letter Q, the heat energy. And after ng letter R, and ng then, next na natin is yung letter E, which is yung equation. So, since heat energy yung hinahanap, ang gagawin lang natin ay susulat lang natin or gagamitin lang natin yung ating pinaka-main formula, which is yung Q is equal to mass multiplied by specific heat is multiplied by the delta T, or temperature or change in temperature. And next is the solution. So, in the solution, hindi tayo agad-agad pwedeng mag-substitute. Kasi remember, may dalawa tayong temperature. And isang temperature lang dapat yung meron tayo. So again, kanina pinatandaan ko yung final and initial na word. Dahil yung final and initial ay yung pinaka-equation natin kung paano natin makukuha yung pinaka-temperature natin. So, ang equation lang natin dito is final minus initial. Therefore, 60 degrees Celsius minus 20 degrees Celsius is equal to 40 degrees Celsius. At dahil isa na lang yung temperature natin, pwede na tayo mag-substitute. So, substitute lang natin yung ating mass, specific heat, and the temperature. So we have 500 grams multiplied by 4.184 joules per gram degrees Celsius, and our temperature na nasolve natin kanina, that is 40 degrees Celsius. And after natin maririte, ang una muna nating isosolve ay yung dalawa. Itong nasa gitna and then yung nasa pinakahulihan. Yung pangalawa at pangatlo. So, numerical value muna. We have 4.184 multiplied by 40. That is 167.36. And numerical value lang yon. So, what about its unit? So, remember, in unit, hahanapin lang natin kung alin yung magkamuka. And since kapag ang ginamit natin ay division or multiplication, pag may nakita tayong magkamuka or magkaparehas, automatically kinakancel natin siya. And in our case, we can see naman na magkamuka si degrees Celsius. So, meron tayong degrees Celsius dito sa 40, and then doon sa kabila ng degrees Celsius. Therefore, we need to cancel that. And then, we just have to copy the joule per gram kasi wala naman na silang kamuka. And then, bring down lang natin yung 500 gram and of course, yung multiplication sign kasi hindi naman natin sila pinerform. And then, of course, i-multiply na natin silang dalawa. Unahin natin uli yung ating numerical value. So, we have 500 times 167.36. That's around 83,680. And what about its unit? Again, in unit, we just have to look kung alin ba yung magkamuka. And in this case, may kaparehas si gram. Therefore, cancel. Ang matitira na lang ay si joule. So, ang pinaka-final answer natin ay 83,680 joule.
Kaya naman ang sagot, 83,680 joules of heat energy must be supplied to the water. Ngayon naman, kayo naman ang magsasagot ng problem nito. A 1,200 gram concrete wall section with specific heat capacity 0.88 joules per gram degrees Celsius experiences a temperature increases from 25 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius due to the direct sunlight. Calculate the heat energy absorbed by the concrete. So kung ang sagot ninyo ay 26,400 joules, tama kayo. Ngayon naman, alamin naman natin kung paano natin isosolve ang ating pangalawang problem or ang ating pangalawang given. Ganon uli, ako muna ang magsasagot at pagkatapos ko ay kayo naman.
For our next problem naman, dito na papasok yung word na derive at rewrite. Again, papasok yung word na derive and rewrite. So, paano ba tayo nagde-derive ng formula mula sa pinaka-standard formula? So, ang una muna natin gagawin ay isusulat natin yung pinaka-standard formula, which is yung Q is equal to M multiply by C multiply by the delta T. And then, ang gagamitin nating operation ay division or divide. Diba kapag nagde-divide tayo, nagsusulat tayo ng pahigang linya. So, syempre, susulatan natin yung dalawang side ng pahigang linya. And as we can see, meron na kasi tayong specific heat. Kasi doon sa problem na hinahanap, or yung sa hinahanap sa problem ay specific heat. So, as we can see, naman na meron na tayong specific heat, 'di ba? Ayan yung letter C. So we just need to look or we just need to find a value na kailangan i-divide natin kay mass at kay delta T para ma-cancel out sila. Remember, kapag para ma-cancel out sila, kailangan i-divide natin sila sa sarili nila. Therefore, we need to divide the delta T to itself and of course the mass to itself. And syempre, kung alin yung ginawa mo sa kanan na side, gagawin mo rin siya sa kabilang side. So, si Q, i-divide din natin siya kay mass at kay delta T. And with that, pwede na tayong mag-cancel. Of course, ang ika-cancel natin dito ay si temperature, si delta T kasi may kaparehas siya, and of course si mass na may kaparehas din siya sa pinakaibaba. So cancel, cancel. Ang matitira na lang ay si letter C. Since wala siyang kamukha, hindi natin siya gagalawin. And doon lipat tayo sa may kabila. So Q is not similar to M, so di natin sila ka-cancel out. And Q is not also similar or identical sa delta T, therefore, di natin sila ka-cancel. So, wala na tayong kailangan i-cancel. So, the next thing that we need to do, of course, to rewrite it. So, dito na papasok yung word na rewrite. So, unahin natin yung natira sa single. So, we have C, and then copy-paste lang natin si Q over M delta T. So, we have Q over the M multiply by the delta T. Multiply na po siya kasi magkatabi sila. And wala namang sign, so it is multiplied. Therefore, our formula is C is equal to Q over mass or the M divided by the delta T or the temperature. And with that, we have a problem of in a laboratory test, 300 grams of an unknown metal absorbs 2,700 joules of heat. Its temperature rises from 25 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. Calculate the specific heat capacity of the metal. So again, we need to find the given. And as we can see, sabi na agad dito, we have 300 grams, so that is our mass. And then we have the 2,700 joules, which is our heat. And again, meron na naman tayong dalawang temperature. Sulat muna natin siya. We have 25 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. And then, yung dalawang word na final and initial. As you can see, 25 is the lower, therefore it is our initial. And 55 is higher, therefore it is our final. So, after ng given, letter R, the required. Look again, tingin ulit sa question, and sabi dito, calculate the specific heat capacity of the metal. Therefore, ang hinahanap ay specific heat capacity or the letter C. Next is the equation, yung kaninang dinerive natin, which is C is equal to Q over M multiplied by the delta T. Then, for the solution, hindi agad-agad tayo makakapag-substitute kasi again, dalawa po yung given na temperature. Hindi po kasi pwedeng dalawa yung temperature na meron tayo sa specific heat, ganun din sa heat capacity. So, kailangan natin i-perform yung equation na final minus initial, which is yung pinapatandaan ko rin kanina. So, we have the final na 55 degrees Celsius and yung initial na 25 degrees Celsius. So, 55 minus 25 is 30 degrees Celsius. And after that, pwede na po tayo mag-substitute kasi iisa na lang ang ating temperature. So, write our formula. So, we have C is equal to Q over M multiplied by the delta T. So, tingin lang sa given, we have our Q which is 2,700 joules over the mass of a 300 grams multiplied by the 30 degrees Celsius yung na-solve natin kanina. So, in this case, uunahin po muna nating isolve yung nasa ibaba, si mass multiplied by the delta T. So, we have 300 grams times the 30 degrees Celsius, we have 9,000. So, sa unit, pagsasamahin lang natin sila kasi di naman sila magkaparehas, so we don't need to cancel them out. So, that would be 9,000 grams degrees Celsius. So, isulat natin siya sa ibaba. So, we have C is equal to, sa baba, 9,000 gram degrees Celsius. And then, i-copy lang natin yung nasa taas, yung numerator, si 2,700 joules, and then yung pahigang linya, kasi hindi naman natin sila ginalaw or pinerform pa. After natin ma-rewrite, so pwede na natin silang i-multiply. So, focus tayo muna sa numerical value. We have 2,700 divided by the 9,000. That would be 0.3. So, for its unit, hanapin agad pag may magkamukha. So, as we can see, wala naman. Therefore, we just have to copy them. So copy the joule per gram degrees Celsius. That's why our answer is 0.3 joules per gram degrees Celsius.
Ang final answer natin ay the specific heat capacity of the metal is 0.3 joules per gram degrees Celsius, katulad doon sa ating computation. Ngayon naman, kayo naman ang magsosolve. So meron tayong problem na a 1,000 grams of limestone block absorbs 45,000 joules of heat energy with a temperature change of 10 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius. Determine the specific heat capacity of limestone. Kung ang sinagot ninyo at ang nakuha nyong sagot ay 1.25 joules per gram degrees Celsius, tama kayo. Ang susunod naman ay ating pangatlong problem. So paano naman natin isosolve ang ating pangatlong given?
So for our next problem, ang hinahanap naman na dito ay temperature. Again, papasok po yung word na derive and rewrite. So katulad ng ginawa lang natin doon sa may una, the first thing that we need to do is to write the standard formula, which is yung Q is equal to M multiplied by the C multiplied by the delta T. And then, ang division na gagamitin natin is of course, division uli. And kapag sa division, nagsusulat tayo ng pahigang linya, susulat natin yung pahigang linya both sides. And as you can see, meron naman tayong delta T, meron naman tayong temperature katulad nung nauna, katulad dun sa nauna na meron ng specific heat. Therefore, we just need to think of a value na ano kaya yung i-divide natin kay mass at kay specific heat para mawala silang dalawa. And of course, para ma-cancel out sila, kailangan natin silang i-divide sa sarili nila. So, we need to divide the mass sa sarili niya, sa M, and then si C doon sa sarili niya, which is C din. And of course, kung alin yung ginawa natin sa kanan, gagawin din natin siya sa kabila. So, i-divide natin si Q kay mass at kay specific heat. And once we do that, kailangan na natin hanapin ngayon, ano kaya yung magkamuka? Of course, obviously, si mass, meron siyang kamukha na nasa ibaba, and then si specific heat na kamukha rin niya nasa ibaba. So, we need to cancel them both. And ititira na lang natin si delta T kasi wala rin naman na siyang kaparehas or wala na siyang kamukha. So, iiwan na natin siya sa single. Pupunta na tayo ngayon sa kabilang side, sa left side. As we can see, Q is not equal to M. Hindi naman sila magkaparehas. Ganon din si Q kay specific heat, din naman sila magkaparehas. So, therefore, hindi na natin sila gagalawin. And with that, we can see wala naman na tayong kailangan i-cancel out since wala naman ng magkakamuka. Therefore, papasok na yung word na rewrite. Equal to Q over M multiplied by the specific heat. So, bakit po kaya naging multiply si mass tsaka si specific heat? That's because magkatabi sila and walang sign. And usually, kapag magkatabi tapos walang sign, multiplication po ang pine-perform natin. So, therefore, our final formula is delta T is equal to Q over M multiplied by the C, or we have delta T is equal to heat divided by the mass multiplied by the specific heat. For our third problem, we have a 200 gram piece of aluminum with specific heat of 0.90 joules per gram degrees Celsius absorbs 1,800 joules of heat energy from a hot plate. By how many degrees Celsius does the temperature of the aluminum increase? Again, we will have to use the GRESA. Therefore, we need to find the given first. And as we can see, sinabi na agad ulit, meron tayong 200 grams. This is our mass or the M. And then we have the 0.90 joules per gram degrees Celsius, or this is our specific heat. And then, meron naman tayo ngayong heat energy or the heat absorbed or the heat or the letter Q, which is the 1,800 joules. So, wala na tayong given. Nasulat na natin lahat. Let's now proceed to R or required. In required, babasahin lang natin uli yung question. And as we can see sa dulo, tinanong na agad, how many degrees Celsius? That's the temperature. Therefore, it is asking for the delta T or for temperature. Then, proceed tayo sa letter E kasi may GR na. Then, letter E, our equation, yung kaninang dinerive natin, which is the delta T is equal to Q over M multiplied by the specific heat. And with that, magpo-proceed na tayo sa solution. So, ang tanong ni teacher, tayo po ba ay magsa-substitute na or kailangan pa nating mag-solve sa temperature? So, kung ang sagot nyo ay substitute na po agad, that's correct. Magsa-substitute na tayo kasi wala naman tayong dalawang given na temperature or wala rin naman tayong given na temperature kasi yun yung kukunin natin. Therefore, we have to substitute. Tingnan lang ulit sa given. Pag nagsa-substitute, so we have delta T is equal to 1,800 joules divided by 200 grams times 0.90 joules per gram degrees Celsius. Again, uunahin po muna natin isolve yung dalawang nasa ibaba. Dalawa nasa ibaba, si mass and then si specific heat. So, numerical value muna tayo bago tayo magpunta sa unit. We have 200 times 0.90, that is 180. Then sa unit, we just need to find alin yung magkamukha, alin yung similar kaya sa kanila. And we can see, merong kamukha si G. Therefore, we need to cancel them out. And wala naman ng kamukha si joules per degree Celsius. So, ikakopy lang natin sila. So, we have 180 joules per degree Celsius. And then, we just have to write it sa pinakababa. Therefore, we have delta T is equal to, sa baba, 180 joules degrees Celsius. So, yung nasa itaas kanina, yung 1,800 joules, we just have to copy it, and then yung pahigang linya kasi hindi naman sila na-perform. And with that, pwede na tayo mag-divide. We have 1,800 divided by 180, numerical value, that is 10. Okay, the value is 10. So what about its unit? So as we can see, agad-agad nakita na natin. Mayroong kamukha si joule or si letter J. So we need to cancel them. And matitira na lang si degrees Celsius. Therefore, our answer is 10 degrees Celsius.
Ang ating final answer ay, the temperature of aluminum increases by 10 degrees Celsius. So, nagtutugma siya doon sa sinolve natin. Ngayon naman, kayo naman ang magsosolve. So, meron tayo ditong problem na a 500 gram piece of cobalt with specific heat capacity 0.42 joules per gram degrees Celsius absorbs 10,500 joules of heat energy. By how much does the temperature of the cobalt increase? Kung ang nakuha niyong sagot ay 50 degrees Celsius, tama kayo. At para sa ating pang-last na problem, paano naman natin ito i-solve? So, ganun uli. Ako muna ang magpapakita sa inyo paano ito sinusolve at sa susunod ay kayo naman ang sasagot.
And for our last problem, so ang hinihingi niya ay yung mass na. So again, papasok po dito yung word na derive and rewrite. So again, susulat lang natin yung pinaka-standard formula kaya huwag kakalimutan. Q is equal to M multiplied by the specific heat multiplied by the delta T. And with that, our operation, again, division or divide. So we need to write first yung dalawang pahigang linya sa both sides. And as we can see, meron na tayong letter M. Meron na agad tayong mass. Therefore, kailangan lang natin mapawala yung mga kapitbahay na, which is a specific heat and then si delta T. So, syempre, para mawala sila, kailangan natin sila i-divide sa sarili nila para ma-cancel out. So, we need to divide the C to C, and then yung delta T sa delta T. At syempre, kung alin yung ginawa natin sa kabila, gagawin din natin sa kabilang side, which is doon sa left side. So, di-divide natin si Q kay specific heat na C and then kay delta T na temperature. And with that, pwede na tayo mag-cancel out. So, syempre, ka-cancel out na natin agad si C at saka si delta T kasi sila naman yung may kamukha. And then, iwan lang natin si M again kasi wala naman siyang kamukha. And then, ganun din, hindi na natin gagalawin si Q over C multiply by the delta T kasi wala naman po silang kamukha sa isa't isa. Hindi naman sila identical sa isa't isa. With that, pwede na tayong magre-write. Uunahin uli si single, si nag-iisa. Si M is equal to, copy lang, si Q over C multiply by the delta T. So, babalik tayo dun sa problem. So, we have a piece of aluminum that has a specific heat capacity 0.98 joules per gram degrees Celsius heated on a hot plate. It absorbs 20,250 joules of heat energy and its temperature rises from 25 degrees Celsius to 75 degrees Celsius. What is the mass of the aluminum piece? Again, we will start with the gresa or sa letter G niya, sa given. So we have a given right off the bat, binigyan agad yung 0.90 joules per gram degrees Celsius na specific heat. We also have the 20,250 joules, which is our heat energy or the heat. And of course, yung dalawang temperature natin na 25 degrees Celsius to 75 degrees Celsius. Again, yung final and initial, hanapin natin alin sa kanila si initial and final. Since 25 is lower, siya yung ating initial temperature. And since 75 is higher than 25, siya ang ating final temperature. And after that, we can now proceed to required or yung letter R. Again, analyze the question. And we can see we have here, tinanong na agad, what is the mass of the aluminum piece? Therefore, ang ating hinahanap ay si letter M or si mass. So, our equation, yung kaninang sinolve, dinerive, nire-write lang natin, which is mass is equal to Q over C multiplied by the delta T. And then, we can now proceed to our solution. So, again, magde-derive po ba tayo? Magsasubstitute. So, again, magsasubstitute po kaya ulit tayo or hindi na? Okay, hindi na. Hindi muna tayo magsa-substitute. That's because we need to solve for the temperature first. So, we need to minus the final to the initial. So, therefore, we have 75 minus 25. We have 50 degrees Celsius. Therefore, after nun, pwede na tayo mag-substitute kasi isa lang na temperature natin. So that would be M is equal to 20,250 joules over 0.90 joules per gram degrees Celsius multiplied by the 50 degrees Celsius, which is yung sinolve natin kanina. And then, palagi, uunahin muna natin yung sa ibaba. C, specific heat, and then si delta T. Numerical value po uli. And then after nun yung unit para sa cancellation. So, 0.90 multiplied by 50, we have 45. Okay. And then, tingin sa unit, may kamukha kaya si J? Wala naman. Si G, may kamukha kaya? Wala naman din. Si C? Of course, merong kamukha si C. Therefore, what we need to do is to cancel them out. So, ang matitira na lang si joule per gram. We just have to copy them kasi wala naman silang kamukha. Hindi natin sila kailangan i-cancel. And then, we just have to rewrite. So, we have M is equal to 20,250 joule, which is yung ating heat na hindi naman nagalaw. And then, nagkakopy rin natin yung pahigang linya kasi hindi naman natin ito peneform. And then, sa ibaba, ilalagay lang natin si 45 joule per gram na sinolve naman natin kanina. And then, i-divide lang natin yung numerical value nila sa isa't isa. So, we have 20,250 divided by 45. That would be 450. Okay. Now, let's move on to its unit. So, we have, of course, the G. Wala naman siya kamuka. Pero si J, nakita natin may kamuka. Therefore, kapag magkamuka at ang ginamit na operation ay multiplication or division, we need to cancel them out. So, ang matitira na lang natin is si G, si gram. So, we have 450 gram as our final answer.
Ang final answer natin ay the mass of aluminum piece is 450 grams. Ngayon naman, para sa last na problem solving natin, meron tayong problem na a thin copper wire with specific heat capacity 0.39 joules per gram degrees Celsius absorbs 1,404 joules of heat energy with a temperature change of 40 degrees Celsius. Find the mass of the copper wire. Kung ang sagot ninyo ay 90 grams, ibig sabihin, tama kayo. For a little bit of comparison, meron tayo ditong table na nagsasabi ng pinagkaiba ng heat capacity at specific heat. Kapag sinabi nating heat capacity, it tells how hard it is to heat up the entire thing. Kapag specific heat naman, it tells how hard it is to heat up that kind of material. Heat capacity, extensive. Specific heat, intensive. The formula for the heat capacity is C is equal to Q divided by the delta T. In specific heat, we have Q is equal to M multiplied by the C multiplied by the delta T. Ang unit naman for heat capacity is either joules per degree Celsius or joules per Kelvin. Kapag specific heat capacity naman, it could be joule per gram degree Celsius or joules per gram Kelvin or either joules per kilogram degree Celsius or joules per kilogram Kelvin. After defining what is specific heat capacity, its formula, and knowing how do we use its formula, syempre aalamin naman natin ang importance nito sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay and kung paano ito connected, kung bakit magkakaiba ang pag-init ng substances na nakikita natin sa ating environment. So una, it is important for our daily lives because heat capacity and specific heat help us to tell which materials are best for different use. Ibig sabihin, it help us determine kung ano yung mga uses ng mga bagay na nasa paligid natin. Halimbawa, cooking in pots and pans. So, specific heat enable us to know kung mabilis ba uminit yung pots na yon or kaya naman yung lutuan na yon at kung pwede ba natin siya gamitin. And pangalawa, for keeping food and drinks hot or cold. Ibig sabihin, specific heat and heat capacity enable us to store our food so hindi siya agad nasisira or hindi siya agad napapanis.
And of course, in our environment, heat capacity and specific heat is responsible for explaining the mechanism of oceans and seas. For an example, kapag tayo ay nasa dagat during summer, mas mainit yung tinatapakan natin na lupa or kaya yung soil or yung sand compared doon sa tubig, which is mas exposed naman yung tubig doon sa araw. So, specific heat and specific heat is responsible for explaining that mechanism. And when it comes to stream or canal or wet spot, bakit kaya despite of being exposed to a hot weather, hindi sila masyadong umiinit? Unlike yung mga other factors sa environment nito. And when it comes to asphalt road, bakit kaya madaling uminit yung asphalt road to the point na nakakapaso na ito? And of course, it also explain why rocks, 'di ba kapag yung rocks na exposed sa sun, some rocks mainit, pero also some rocks ay hindi naman and bearable naman hawakan. And with that, we need to remember that studying heat capacity specific heat is important because it allows us to choose better materials for cooking and storing food. And it also explains why some places have nice weather while some places are hot. And it also helps us understand and solve problems about climate change and hot cities.
Before we end our discussion, magkakaroon muna tayo ng short activity lang naman. So, ang activity na to ay ang Venn diagram. So, I will flash a QR code sa ating screen at i-scan nyo na lang. Kapag in-scan nyo yun, mabubuksan nyo yung document or yung file and makikita nyo na doon yung instruction. And of course, meron ding exit ticket. So, ang exit ticket natin, it will compose of 3 questions. So, first, 3 things I learned today, 2 things I like about the lesson, 1 thing I want to learn more about the lesson. So, ang exit ticket ninyo ay isasama nyo na rin doon sa inyong group. So, ang exit ticket ninyo ay isasama nyo na rin doon sa file kung saan ninyo gagawin yung inyong Venn diagram activity. And with that, we will now end our discussion, and we hope you learned something from us, especially about our topic. And I hope you will be able to use this topic in the future and for practical uses. Once again, thank you very much for listening, and we hope you learned something from us.